Okay, so we will be making this in SketchUp. Now, there's a couple things you got to work in meters or millimeters. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this thing on the right first, and then I'm going to go back and build all this stuff. So I'm going to kind of work quickly with the first wall. Let's see a couple things. We know that this is 48 long. We know that it's here. We know it's 11 wide. We know that it's 41 tall. We know that here there's going to be like a circle, or a half circle at least, and it's centered because this is 24, which is half of 48. It's going to be 25 units up from the bottom, and it's 13 wide. Okay, so we know that. Another thing that we know is that these edges are curved over here. It says R6, radius 6, so that's going to tell us that like our magic number is 6 over there. So here's what I'm going to do. Now I have all that stuff memorized now, so watch how I solve it. I know that this was 11 by 48, so I make a rectangle that's 11 by 48. I'm going to use push-pull to pull it up 41. I know that the circle was at the midpoint, and the center of it was 25 units from the bottom. I know that the circle is 13 units wide, so I'm going to write 6.5, enter, because radius of 6.5 means diameter of 13. And then I'm going to find the absolute left of that circle and go up the blue axis. I'm going to find the absolute right of the circle and go up the blue axis. And then I'm going to take not push-pull yet, actually. I'm going to have to delete these. And then I use push-pull to push it forward to make it disappear. Now remember, in these corners, they were curved. I said the magic number was 6. So I'm going to measure 6 there, down, or 6 to the right and 6 down. Then I'm going to take 2-point arc and go to endpoint and endpoint. And when it's pink and says tangent at vertex, then you click. Do the same thing over here. So I go 6 over and 6 down. I'm going to find the 2-point arc. I go to the endpoint and endpoint. And when it's pink and says tangent at vertex, then I click. Now I take push-pull and push it so that it disappears. So good. Now that's looking exactly how it should. Let's take a look at making this arc now. So it says that from here, this corner, which is here, all the way to the end is 107. Then it says that from the same location to the center of this kind of rounded circle is 51. And it says that the first circle has a diameter of 38. And then it says that this whole white area has a height of 11. So you can see the numbers over there too. So I go this way from this corner, I write 107, so that measures that. And then I'm going to measure to find the center of the circle, which was, remember, 51. So click and go this way, 51. See, the endpoint shows up right here, which is good. Now I'm going to take a circle, and it says that this has a diameter. Go to this endpoint. I'm going to press the left arrow to make sure the circle goes in the right direction. It says diameter 38, which means radius 19. I'm going to delete the bottom half. I'm going to delete the inside. I'm going to delete this line that's running across the bottom of that. So now we have this. Now, in order to make this 11, what we're going to do is inside push-pull is offset. So touch the arc with offset, click it, pull up, and write 11. Enter. And now that's 11 units. Got that. Now I'm going to take the pencil tool because we have to measure the 11. So I measure 11 up, and I follow the red axis over, and I go 11 up here. I go to the end point and go that way. Now you can delete these two lines. And what I'm going to do is it's the same, you can see that goes all the way across, and that was a length of 48, so I'm just going to click and go 48 across. Okay, so it's looking good. One thing you could do at this point is there's a line here that you can delete, there's a line underneath that you can delete, and there's a line over here that you can delete. You can never delete the lines that are attached to curves because then things will open up and you don't want that. So those lines that are still there, you actually can't delete those. All right, next thing to do is we want to figure out these circles. So it says that from this center of the circle that we already made, it's 43 units to the center of this circle. Okay. And then it says that the circles are 22 units apart. and it says that there's a diameter of 10 with the circles. So I'm going to take that information and make it work. So I go here, center. It says 43 units over, so I find that endpoint. I go up, and I go across. Now, going across is just to let me know that's where the circles will fall. So the circles are going to be on that line. It also said that they are 22 units apart. So I go to the midpoint, and I kind of just cut it in half like that just to show me where that midpoint is. It said that they were 22 units apart. 22 units apart means I can go 11 this way. Remember it said diameter 10. So I go to the endpoint, and I go radius 5. And it says I'm going to go the same thing in this direction. I go 11 this way, and I go radius 5. Push those. Now we can delete all the lines that I don't need. And I'm going to push-pull these down so they disappear. I can click there and click the corner, click there and click the corner, and that should make them fully disappear. Same thing that you did with these arches over here. Remember that magic number was 6? I'm going to do the same thing. So I click, I go 6, enter, click, 6, enter, 2-point arc, endpoint, endpoint, pink, click. Same thing over here. So I click here this way, 6, enter. I go this way, 6, enter. And I go endpoint, endpoint, it's pink, click. And now I take this, push it down so it disappears, take this, push it down so it disappears. So at this point, this is looking exactly as it should. Something you can do now, because as you do this next thing, making the dimensions is going to be really difficult. So I'm just going to kind of throw some of these dimensions in here. You know, some of these are going to be a little tougher to put all the dimensions on, just because there's a lot of curves in this one, which makes it a little more difficult. So I think I dimensioned it, and I should show that that's 13, because that was one of the main things to think about. So the next thing and the last thing really is to do the hole that's in the top. And this one is going to be a totally new thing that we're going to learn. So from over here, it's going to be 24 units in, and it has a diameter of 5. That's really all you need to know for now. So I find the center here, I go 24 units in. I don't think I typed the right number, 24 units in, yep. Diameter of 5 means radius of 2.5. 2.5, enter, good. And I'm going to delete these lines. Good, so now I have this circle, and I have this big shape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to triple click on the big shape, and I'm going to go right click and go to make group. I'm going to do the same thing to this circle. I triple click here, I right click, and I click make group. Now this one, that little circle, we're actually going to edit the group. We're going to take push pull and push it all the way through. Awesome. So now they're both groups. Now we take under push pull, there's all these kind of boxes. This helps you do some really kind of wild stuff here. So we're going to take subtract, which is the white box and the shaded box. I'm going to click on the cylinder, and I'm going to click on the big shape. And what that does is it subtracts the first thing you clicked from the second thing you clicked. So it subtracted that cylinder that was going through. So at this point, we're just about done. You can just click, triple click it and paint it. And then you insert your name. And if you're in meters, it's going to be small, but then you can use scale to make it, whoa, never mind. Okay, so I'm going to make sure you scale it the right way. Good. And at that point, you are done. So you can submit that, and that's your assignment.